Bring in those electric cars. I might even get one if it's going for that price. And you see how hard they look?
Well, I said it really doesn't even matter to me because if you actually go to like and you don't have to do it now because I don't know what you have to do as far as your restreaming app or whatever you're using or
Mhm.
StreamYard. But go look up Continental ECUs, okay, and then go
Mhm.
look up auto tinting, right? So they have the and then the ECUs that actually have the windshield projection on it. That's made by Continental too, which is in some high-end Corvettes and some high-end BMWs and all this other shit.
Oh, okay. The engine control units. Okay.
Well, they manufacture ECUs for everything: engine control, body control, secondary body controllers. Like they manufacture the ECUs for pretty much every major car brand,
Mhm.
every major heavy truck brand.
Mm. Well, damn. But hold on. Before we get too far off into the weeds, though, we do got to get back into our guy Alex Jones.
No, and I'm going to touch on that because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, these people are like I said earlier in the chat.
Mhm.
These people do not understand that ideology doesn't match religion all the time. I said you were base because you understand that this is nonsense. When I send my tax money not only to my state government but also my federal government, they are paying a foreign entity, and then they want to say that this foreign entity should then merge with my military that I served with the National Defense Authorization Act of 2027. Like, get out of my face with this, especially with how much we know data centers are using water instead of other coolant products because it's cheap, and then they want to pollute our water streams. Get the fuck out of here. Like, these
Literally.
people need to be.
Oh, bro, hold
Um,
on, bro.
uh,
You're starting to sound like a Chinese spy, apparently. Hey, hold on. I think you're muted. There you go.
I know I'm muted. I was like, no, 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 no. Ain't no Chinese spy because nah, there's religion here and
Yeah.
there's patriots. Like, no, 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 no. Freedom of this is the original Statue of Liberty torch when they actually still carried the flame. Like, no, no,
Mm.
no, no. That doesn't come over here.
All right. All right, though. Hold on. Right now, let's go ahead and get right back onto it, though. Because I do want to hear what this guy was saying. Let's get right into it.
Liberace's diamonds.
There's a scene in that movie that's been playing out in my head over and over and over again over this last week.
I love
That's
diamonds.
very applicable to the current state of the United States of America. But before I share that scene with you, let's first go to the funeral of the former Ayatollah of the Islamic regime of Iran, Ali Khamenei.
Mm.
You cut the arrogance in this guy's voice with a knife. Look at them. We should kill them all now. I'm so tough.
Now, Kosher, he gets it right, and he says, effing hell. Regime supporters at Khamenei's funeral, they're crying out, quote, no compromise, no surrender, only.
Yeah, but here's the thing about these regime supporters. They're the Iranian people at the end of the day. I guess you guys forgot. And like I said, this is where the propaganda falls apart before their eyes. You guys said that 90 to 80 to 90% of Iranians don't support the regime. I mean, this is a pretty large group for you guys to say that. And now that you guys don't really have that no more, now you're just saying F all of them, kill them all because they're all regime supporters. Well, guys, you're going to be killing millions upon millions of people if you're talking about killing regime supporters. I just want to let you know that.
I think it was 1.2 or 1.3 million people that were actually physically there.
Bro, I heard, I heard it was over a million. I didn't want to say it. I say, about over 100,000 or so. But no, I was hearing word that, there's like 1.2 million people just taking up the streets. And I'm like, yeah, because a lot of people don't understand that, if 61 million people voted in an election that was ran by the IRGC, 30 million people actually voted in an election ran by the IRGC, what makes you think they can't get a million people to come out here and mourn the Ayatollah, who was pretty much head of the IRGC? Like, come on now. But all right.
And J.D. Vance thinks you can make a deal with these people. Yeah. Other things that they were chanting at the funeral is, of course, death to America. And many of them were waving banners that literally said, kill Trump. But here we have President Donald Trump that's saying, these.
Now, take this in consideration. Could they be saying that because, you know, there might be some guys in there who daughter we done vaporized? Like, I don't know. Or, you know, could they be saying that because there might be somebody's husband in the crowd whose wife was destroyed in that girls' school bombing? Could that be a reason why they say death to Trump? Because I'm gonna be real with you. If any country was to sit here and took out 100 American schoolgirls in a school, we'd be yelling death to that guy in the streets. Like, what?
Are the more moderates. You get half of the world's terrorists, demons, and devils all gathered together in one place. Do you really think that I would miss that opportunity?
Yo,
no, I wouldn't.
Yo,
no.
Hey, yo, bro, just pretty much said, you think I missed the opportunity to kill about over 1 million civilians? Hell no.
Who is this guy anyway? I mean, like,
oh my goodness,
who is this guy?
He's some popular Zionist on X, and this would be the craziest part. Like, bro, these guys are so genocidal, so homicidal. It's just like, it's so insane to hear them say it out loud. Literally said that, oh, they're just regime supporters. What? So they're no longer human. You want to bomb them all? What happened to freeing the Iranian people?
Yeah, the thing about X is that I'm so glad that I'm permanently banned from X. Like, I'm like IP banned from X. I can't even, if I were to type his name in, yeah, I'd probably get like 1 or 2 clicks, and then it would say, sorry, this content isn't available to
you. Damn. Oh shoot, then let's see what else he got to say.
I would love to introduce them to Moab or any other type of weaponry that would finish the job very, very quickly.
Wow.
But getting to the scene in the movie Titanic that's been playing out in my head this last week, just before the ship impacts the iceberg, you have the 2 individuals that are up in the mast lookout, and they're the ones that spot the iceberg first. They see the iceberg and they go, oh my gosh, iceberg. So they get on the phone. One of them gets on the phone and he's calling down to the individuals at the helm, those that are actually in control of the ship, control in the direction of the ship. And the phone is just ringing and it's ringing and ringing and no one is picking up the phone. And the guy on the phone calling down to the helm says, pick up, you stupid bastards. Pick up. Finally.
Ship's name? What's the sister ship's name that was actually the ship that was sunk? It wasn't the Titanic. They stuck all those bankers on that one fucked up ass ship that was the sister ship of the Titanic. And then they actually, the engineers, when they wanted to justify the sinking, could calculate every single flaw in the Titanic as they engineered it. It's kind of convenient, especially when insurance money was paid out and everybody that was opposed to the Federal Reserve Act died.
Yeah, that was the connection. That's what I was about to say. The connection between the Federal Reserve and the Titanic was crazy because all the oppositions to the Federal Reserve died on the Titanic, and then all of a sudden the Federal Reserve gets pushed through. And I believe, what was it? I think the Titanic was on 1912, and the Federal Reserve passed in like 1913.
Well, what happened to the president that passed that act?
Let's see here. If I remember, what was it? It was started, 1913, literally a year after. Yeah. So the Titanic happened in 1912, and then the Federal Reserve gets created in 1913. President Woodrow Wilson.
And what happened to Wilson?
Shoot, honestly, I mean, he worked out pretty well, didn't he? I mean, he wasn't assassinated.
What happened to Woodrow Wilson, who signed? Well, actually, it wasn't even Wilson who signed the act. It was was it Garfield?
Let me see. It says Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act into law, and regional Federal Reserve banks officially opened and began operating for the first time on November 16th, 1914. So really, it all started in 1914.
Right, but there was a president that died right after he was inaugurated, and then I think wasn't Woodrow Wilson a vice president first?
Maybe. Hold on now. Shoot, I could look it up, but let's see here. Woodrow Wilson VP. He might have been. Let me see here. Let's see here. Yeah, he served as the 28th vice president of the United. No, never mind. It's the wrong person. No, wrong person. Nope. They gave me Thomas Marshall. No, I guess not. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and keep it going.
Everyone's seen the Titanic, right? Of course you have.
No,
well, we're up here on the iceberg, and it's coming up, and they're on the deck in the bridge of the ship, calling down.
Hear anything said.
To the captain, saying, "Sir, there's an iceberg," and the captain's not answering the phone. You mean the hard line he's talking to him on? It's a cable running down to him, not a phone. And the iceberg is the CIA overthrowing pro-America Mohammed Mossadegh in 53, and then the Shah getting in and then allowing the mullahs to come in 79 that the CIA opened the door for, and then doing Iran-Contra behind the scenes with them for money, for weapons, and all of that, and these weird backroom deals with the Islamicists. And also love how he singles out J.D. Vance. Right. J.D. Vance is foolishly thinking.
No, that's what kills me. It's like a lot of people don't know that we greenlit the Ayatollah. Us in France, yeah, once the Shah was falling, we brought in the Ayatollah thinking that we'd be able to control him, and boy, were we wrong about that. Like, guys, all of our problems in Iran are of our own creation, literally. Like, bro, nuclear weapons program, not weapons program, but nuclear program, atoms for peace. We gave it to them in the 50s. The Ayatollah, well, due to the fact that we knocked out a Democratic elected official and put in our own guy, that's what pretty much caused the Ayatollah to get into power, which caused the Iranian Revolution. So once again, our fault. It's like, well, most of the things we deal with Iran is kind of our own creation. It's tough.
You can work with the mullahs and be nice to them. They want to kill everybody. How dumb is J.D. Vance? J.D. Vance was the one who said don't do it, along with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Raisin Kane, Ed Tulsi Gabbard, and the head of counterterrorism center, Joe Kent. The iceberg was going to the war, and them closing the Strait of Hormuz 125 days in. The iceberg was the mistake, and that Israel lied and said that they would fall in 4 days. We've already hit the iceberg, Billy boy. Mr. Jake Hilton, you sit there and you read off your script and you pontificate and repeat the same garbage. Oh,
yeah. And this is where it comes to, like, the hatred of Islam. It starts to get a little bit genocidal. It's like, yo, y'all are getting a bit genocidal when a guy just comes on there and says, I hate Islam so much that I'm wanting to bomb innocent civilians just because of how they feel towards America. It's like,
well, where do they get the bombs from? Where do they get the money from? Like, literally, their defense systems come from us.
Yeah, I mean, shit. So, I mean, what was it? I think the jets that we also destroyed too, those came from us as well.
Well, and see, I'm a Navy veteran, so the USS Liberty is very much something that was taught to me in boot camp. So that's something that doesn't stray when I sing Anchors Away. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah. And I get what you're saying. Here's the thing, though. Damn, they must have pulled you to the side on that one. Because I heard they don't even like to talk about it in the military or in the Navy.
Oh, no. When we went, when I went to boot camp, it was December of 2001. Okay, so we're fresh into September 11th, fresh into everybody's, all right, we're in a declaration of war, we're going to war. You get a National Defense Medal as soon as you get graduated, and you're ready to rock and roll. You ain't even been nowhere yet. Now, some people went to, and shout out to everybody that had the balls to be, FMF and go be a combat corpsman. Shout out to those Navy veterans out there. You know what I'm saying? Because you saved lives, and you did what you did. You know what I mean? But nah, bro, I'm telling you, when I went through boot camp and they showed us jets on fire that they're just taxiing or they're being brought up out of inventory to actually hit the runway. And if they get hit on fire, like I literally saw this senior chief get blown off like this is not bullshit footage. This is literally like, hey, you're going to see this man die.
Damn.
Like this one senior chief went out and tried to put this fire out on this aircraft and literally got jettisoned off the fucking ship when that aircraft exploded. Like that's the shit they showed us. And the USS Liberty, no, that was absolutely something that was the second class fire controlman that was teaching that class. Shout out to him. I don't remember his last name, but petty officer did his job and taught us about how you get fucked over by supposed allies. And maybe that was something that wasn't a part of the curriculum, but that was something that definitely was broadcasted in that class.
All right then. All right, let's get back to it.
And them closing the Strait of Hormuz 125 days in. The iceberg was the mistake, and that Israel lied and said that they would fall in 4 days. We've already hit the iceberg, Billy boy. Mr. Jake Hilton.
You sit there and you read off your script and you pontificate and repeat the same garbage over and over again, little piggy, and act all high and mighty when the iceberg is what Netanyahu got us to do. And now Trump's trying to save the ship, Mr. Know-It-All. So this guy, look how tough he is. I bet he's tough. Look at him.
He needs to go join the IDF right now.
Oh, sorry. The IDF says no ground war. Well, that's because they work for Qatar too, right? So these guys
who sit there that went to their seminary and have a little mail-in diploma. I'm a man of God, a man of the cloth.
And he's telling us that the Titanic is about to hit the iceberg. No, buddy, pal, it already did. And in the midterms, we're probably going to lose the House and Senate. That's a Titanic too.
Real time.
He ain't lying about that.
What's funny is that if you look at Homie, right? So if you were to look at dude through a sniper scope, right? You're probably just dude at somebody like that's probably like 235 pounds, probably about 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", maybe 6'1" to 6'3", right? But you can actually geographically look at this human being and understand that, yeah, at 1,500 yards, yeah, homie, you stand no chance. And I'm not trying to disrespect this man. I don't know this man. I'm not on X. Like I said, I'm permanently banned from X. I don't know this dude.
I don't know. I think he's a bitch because it's just like, dog, you're literally talking about killing innocent civilians because you don't agree with their position on America. And all those civilians, bro, they're civilians. They're not just regime supporters. At the end of the day, they're not the ones honestly attacking. They're not the ones sending off the missiles. This is the IRGC. But apparently, they're thinking now they're going to get down with the idea that it's okay because, oh, no, all these regime supporters, you just need to bomb them and get them out the way. Dog, there's way more regime supporters than that right there. If you think that bombing all of them to death is going to solve the regime problem in Iran, dog, is only going to make it worse. 20 times.
And bro, and as a war fighter, bro, I'm definitely a person that's an anti-war activist. I'm not trying to send nobody else to go fight any kind of war. Because to kill somebody is some fucked up ass shit that nobody like. But I tell people like, bro, it doesn't matter. I'll hit you at 1,500 meters with a 40 millimeter grenade out of a Mark 19 within 5 feet, or I'll come see you up close and personal and watch your eyes go wide. I don't
here's
give
the problem
a fuck.
though. The people that here's the thing. Like me, I never took a life. I mean, sure, I might have come close a couple times, but as far as I'm concerned, I ain't never took a life. The problem about that is that I don't understand why people play hard about taking a life. That's what kills me. They act like, oh, I'm okay with people get dying. I'm tough. No, you're a bitch. Like, why don't you go out there and do it your damn self? Like, I would never sit out there and act like killing people is tough. It's not. I mean, I'm sorry, but I respect you whooping somebody's ass more than killing them. Now, if you're in a war, okay, cool. But I'm sorry, if you're starting to say that, oh, now we need to go after civilians instead of the warriors, you're a bitch.
Well, we've seen multiple examples of where Israel's attack progress is always about being proactive until they have to get active, right? Yeah. Terrence Crawford said in that one press conference, "I get active," right? What Israel is and the IDF is and the Mossad are, they're all con artists and they all play the shadow games thinking that they're tough. I've trained with the IDF. They're not tough. I really hate the senator out of Florida. I really love to see him in person wearing an IDF uniform in the halls of any United States government as an official, you're putting on a clown show and you're spitting on everybody that was actually a U.S. patriot who swore to. Everybody wants to shit on the Constitution, right? But how many people swear an oath to it and actually abide by that oath? Like they declare veterans crazy, so they can't own firearms, so they can't be the individuals they were trained to be. That's what they tell everybody. But then they want to put them on SSRIs. Like when I went to the VA and check this, bro, and anybody that wants to fact check this, go fact check this. Go look up Hassan, Fort Hood, Texas, November 5th, 2009. Go look that shit up.
Well, hold on now. Let's go ahead and get right back to it, dog. All right.
Zionist into my feed. And look, he's got the Star of David around his neck. He says he's a Protestant. And his constant talk is, I'm against the Nazis, and I'm against the Islamists.
What the fuck is a Nazi,
and
man?
I'm against the communists. Well, and everybody that isn't for these wars where we get 45 times the Muslims in the West, Europe, the United States, Canada, that we had before 9/11. I thought we were fighting them over there, so they didn't come over here. We fight them over there. The UN builds them up. We let them in. See how that works?
Pretty much.
Republicans and Democrats. Trump's stopped a lot of that, but the neocons were the architects of this. So I'd like to have this guy on the show, and I'll tell him what I'm going to ask.
I mean, look, let's be real. You can't sit there and complain about the Islamist takeover or these Muslims coming into your country when you're sitting there supporting the wars that bring them into your country. It's like, bro, come on now. It's like you're the biggest oxymoron right now.
But Seth, where's there a Muslim invasion? Where's there a Muslim invasion when the Muslims used to control these countries 400 years ago? They controlled Spain, they controlled the UK, they controlled all of this land.
And the Christians beat it back, and the Christians got it back.
But that's what I mean, though. So, are you mad because somebody decided to use some guerrilla warfare tactics on your ass to go reclaim some shit that they think they should have had 500 years ago? I'm sorry, but I'm not a monotheist, bro. I'm a Norse pagan. The monotheist can go kiss my ass with. If you're a Jew, a Christian, or a Muslim, you can kiss my ass. You ain't my homie. I'm sorry. You may be my homie, but you're not gonna ride on some shit that is principled that I believe in. So whatever, right?
No, here's the thing. Cool. When I try to like criticize all religions, I like I said, I keep my feelings out of it for all the religions, and I don't claim any religion. If you ask me though, I would say I'm kind of in between a Christian and a Muslim, but honestly, I'm not claiming any of them. And why? Because I don't want to. Honestly, I don't want to. What's the word? I guess dilute my opinion. I don't want to sit there have my opinion come from a only Christian view or an only Muslim view. I want to be able to have a free thinking view of it, where I don't have a bias. And I don't have a bias when I talk about these two. Honestly, when people talk about the holy wars and the Muslims had it and the Christians took over and it's because of their religion, it's like, nah, not really. Honestly, it's because of resources. Let's just be real. I mean, if the Christians had all the resources that they needed, they wouldn't have no need to really go after the Muslims. But since they don't, and they need to create an excuse, the Pope said, hey, we need to go take Bethlehem and we need to go ahead and kill everybody to do so. Muslims, hey, man, these people are attacking us and we also need to expand our land because we're expanding our faith, so we need to take some land. I mean, and that ain't no different from what the Hindus did, the Zoroastrians did. That's just how ancient civilization worked back then. People took land they took land for the resources and they hid it behind their faith.
But I'm not mad at you, man. I'm not mad at anybody, and I hope everybody can hear me better. But I'm not mad at anybody that stands behind the principles of their faith if they're true believers, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But yet again, we have people that want to be grifters, right? We use that term in politics a lot, right? Grifters. Yeah. They grift on subjects. But yet, if you're truly standing on principles, It doesn't matter if you're a Norse pagan an Ashkenazi Jew or an Orthodox Jew or an Hasidic Jew or an Orthodox Christian or whatever, right? Because I've seen world champions not make a ring walk because they stood on principle of their religion. And I'm talking about when Miguel Cotto fought a man that was Jewish and he was Orthodox, and that's where Miguel Cotto won the 154-pound world championship because the dude broke his knee or whatever the fuck it was. But the thing is that to stand on principle, you standing on substance. Most people don't stand on substance nowadays because they think entertainment pays them, and most motherfuckers that are influencers, like, bro, I will break your face.
Now, here's the problem, though.
Like,
Difficult part
you're
for
an
me is
influencer.
that you got to understand, difficult part for me is choosing not to do that because I see how much creators low-key just pick that side and ride so hard for it. Like the influencers that chose to be overly MAGA, they're not going to criticize MAGA no matter what Trump does or what he says. They're just going to overly support him. And they understand that because there's money in that. There's money in grifting for MAGA no matter what they do wrong. As long as you stay towards the grift, as long as you tell MAGA what they want to hear, they'll send you money. They'll keep on watching. And that just shows how low integrity you have, because even if you disagree with Trump, you won't go against it. You won't speak out against it because you understand that that's going to F your money up or F your viewership up. So you're right. I mean, bro, a lot of people don't stand on principles, morals, or no ethics. It is just about the grift. And trust me, if I was grifting, then, bro, I have all the incentive in the world to be the most pro-Zionist MAGA black guy you've ever seen. All the incentive in the world. But look at me. Like, come on now. So I always do say some people don't even know how to call out the grifters. I'm like, bro, trust me. Anybody who's willing to go against their party on a couple things, they're not a grifter. But those who are a little too loyal to their parties, those are the grifters, guys. Because they're honestly will never go outside of that opinion just to keep you around, just to keep that money coming in. And here's the thing. Sometimes their audience hold them hostage to it. That's the worst part about it. But all right, let's go ahead and get right back into it.
Here's the Jerusalem Post in the Times of Israel. Israel created Hamas. Israel protected Hamas. Netanyahu doubled their funding. Okay, here's the West, and Israel helped with Turkey 2+ years ago, putting the head of Al-Qaeda in over Syria, who then mass murdered the Christians. So don't sit there and say, oh, you're for Islam because you're against a war the Pentagon said would probably fail, which it did. What are we, 125, 126 days into the war now? See, these guys never talk about that. They have this false equivalency. Guys, pull up the definition of false equivalency. Type in just into Google or into Grok or whatever you want. What is the definition of false equivalency? Because that's what all this is. They're all in my feed on X and Rumble, on our official channels, rumble.com/Alex Jones Show Live, on X, Real Alex Jones, and at AJN Live. These guys constantly, oh, you're for the Muslims. Oh, you're on the Qatari payroll. I didn't get a $300 million plane from Qatar.
Bruh.
I've never been to Qatar. I've got no money from Qatar. I didn't build the biggest U.S. military base in the world over there. A false equivalency or false equivalence is a informal fallacy in which an equivalence is drawn between two subjects based on flawed, faulty, or false reasoning. The fallacy is categorized as a fallacy of inconsistency. Colloquially, a false equivalence is often called comparing apples and oranges. And that's all these people do. I agree with Mark Levin, the mullahs are bad. I agree Islam's a cancer. And I don't agree that Israel and the U.S. and the U.K. are famous for funding all the radical Muslim groups and bringing them in to then have a crisis.
This is why I always disagree with Alex Jones on, because it's like, bro, this is what I don't really like about the religious types. Anything outside of their own religion is a cancer. Like anything outside their own religion is a cancer and is low-key designed that way to divide people. And when it don't gotta be like that, but people push it. But here's the thing though. Like I respect Alex Jones because he'll sit there and he'll have his opinion of Islam, but he will never sit there and say that you should ban Islam because let's be real, that's un-American to say. Like freedom of religion. If you don't like it, go to a country where you have to be only Christian, where you have to be only Jewish. I mean, it might be hard pressed to find one, but go out there and find it because you don't belong here. If you're talking about banning a religion, aka F your freedom of speech, and that's what kills me too. A lot of these people say that they stand up for the Constitution, but they really don't. They pick and choose. If it goes along with what they want, okay, cool. If it don't, then they want it gone, even if it's protected by the Constitution.
And then take our rights and stick TSA's hands down our pants and put us in bodies.
I got you. Go ahead.
But I bring up all the time. If you want to be a constitutionalist, go look up the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist papers. They are free. They're free to you. They're not copywritten.
True.
Like literally, there's websites that will recite that shit to you free to you.
Bro,
Like
YouTube
go
will recite
read.
that shit for you for free.
Like, come on, man. Like, if you want to really look up what the arguments were, you'll understand where the public education didn't tell you the whole story. You want to understand why we have individual state constitutions. You want to understand why we have the federal constitution. But the law of the land was subjugated when we became a United States corporation. This is what all the Moors, everybody that is a private citizen talks about. I'm not talking about sovereign citizens. That is a CIA term that screwed everybody up with their paperwork. Go look up private citizen or non-resident alien or resident alien or whatever title you carry. We're citizens because we're born here, right? Well, go
Mhm.
look up what that title actually gets you. Go look up what your birth certificate gets you. This is where they borrow to this is what I was talking about when you talk about the Federal Reserve Act, when they borrow against the labor of an individual because they have an ESN that says that, oh, over their subjugated lifetime,
Mhm.
I should be awarded this much labor. So this much labor is accosted to their lifetime. And when you think about that shit, it's like when we talk about banking systems or the monetary system, and if you're against the central banking system, hoorah for you. If you hate the Federal Reserve, hoorah for you. If you hate fucking fiat currency, hoorah for you. I'm a skill set minded individual. I like to provide for individuals with an actual substance that makes them money, that makes them productive. When I talk to people, it's like, okay, so what is your purpose? Everybody wants to derive purpose through money. Okay, so do you want to be an entertainer? Do you want to be an athlete? Do you want to be this? Do you want to be that? People don't want to be a skilled individual. When people talk to me, especially
Hold on,
during
hold on. We might be
COVID.
going a bit too far off course here, brother. But
Well, I'm just saying that it goes to the fact of if you're a skill set minded individual, you have
mhm.
a knowledge base behind your argument.
Yeah,
Alex Jones, well, you got to look at the documents. Yeah, yeah. Go look at the documents, homie.
nah,
Go look at
fact,
this shit.
nah, fact.
Your mind will be
The borders are wide
crushed.
open. See it? So the Pentagon, the CIA, Mossad, MI6, Turkish intelligence, NATO, they're eyeballs funding Islam. And these guys can't deal with that. They don't know how to respond to that. So listen to this guy. I forget his name. What's his name? Hilton. And I want to get him on the show. And I want to, sit there and I'm not singling him out. This is, I've got to pick one guy to get on. He says, I'm a Christian Zionist at the start of his videos. And I sit there and you tell he's been to some.
Yeah, boy, I'm a Christian Zionist, or I'm a Christian, but I call for the killing of over almost 1 million people. It's like I'm a Christian, but I'm okay with the genocide in Gaza. It's like I'm a Christian, but I'm okay with starving Cubans. I'm a Christian, but insert your craziest evil here. It's like, bro.
Hey, bro, when we went to Iraq, bro, we killed 1 million Iraqi civilians,
I'm pretty sure people were
not
talking about being
combatants.
Christians then.
Well, and it's funny because we killed Christians that were in Iraq,
Yeah.
and we used plutonium enriched rounds on them, which created birth defects later on. There are
Jeez.
documentaries about this shit. It's old news, bro. Like it's 15-year-old news. We're in 2026. Like this shit came out 15 years ago in 2011. And people, if you want to pay attention to really what happens in war, you want to know why heroin became such an epidemic because we invaded Afghanistan. You want to know why the warlords that we empowered and homies were burning shit in 55-gallon drums as deuce and a halves are coming out of compounds. Like, bro, this is all testimony that came from U.S. Army. This shit is 20 years old, It's nothing new. I'm not speaking. This is conspiracy hour. You can think it's a conspiracy theory, but go look that shit up.
Nah, please go look that shit up, cause shoot, I believe you.
Ecumenical school, he's got this preacher voice he does, and everything sounds like this, and he's there telling you that the woke Reich is in league with the Muslims, and they are, and then the commies. Well, the commies are in league with that, and the establishment's in league with that, and Netanyahu's in league with that. And you got to understand that, but they won't respond. I'm going to nail this guy down on that. I'm telling him I'm going to bring
don't
up
like religion
because he can't get his argument together, even with a head start. Jake Hilton, forced into my feeds, never clicked on his stuff, just forced. I want to ask him too.
No, what kills me, it would kill me. I ain't gonna lie, bro. X is for pro-Zionist now. It's like, bro, if you're not a pro-Zionist, you're not getting no real push or growth on X. That's what I've low-key noticed. And here's the thing, like, dog, I don't even follow most of these pro-Zionist accounts. I follow a couple just for references, just to see what they're thinking. But like, dog, so much of these get pushed. So much of them get pushed in the algorithm because they're promoting the same thing that Elon Musk is promoting. Is like anti-Islam, anti-socialism, anti-democrat. It's like if you push all of that and you go by X's script, you'll get engagement. If you go outside of it, then you won't get no engagement. And it's absolutely weird. It's like, I'm gonna be real with you. Elon Musk's platform is honestly for Israel. It's like, bro, it's the Israeli X. Let's just call it that. Like it's not X, it's not Elon Musk's X, it's Israel's X.
Well, remember
that 1.3 billion Israeli.
Do you remember that X when it was still under the original founder? I forget homie's name, but
I know it wasn't. No, go ahead.
It's kind of funny. Everybody forgets forgets homie's name because he's not mentioned anymore. But yet again, he's still a PDF.
Jack
okay,
Dorsey.
There you go. Still a PDF. Still on the higher up list. Still, like when I got banned, he was in control of Twitter. It wasn't X at the time. But yet again, I was asking questions about Oprah's connection to Harvey Weinstein. And was like, what happened to all the children out of the African Center? What happened to all the girls?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I got to interrupt you real quick because some people are going off on my X comment. Is like, no, I want a platform that was sold to us on free speech, not Zionist propaganda. Like, come on now. Like a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, no, I'm not saying that. Bro, here's the thing. I'm gonna complain about X because he sold it on free speech. Not, I'm just gonna push all the Zionist propaganda to you. It was like, bro.
I was trying to get my account back on that shit because it's supposed to be free speech, and it was absolutely rejected. And trust me, what I said was I don't like Oprah because she's a billionaire black cunt. And what happened to the children from your African school, Miss Harvey Weinstein? That was the exact comment I sent her.
On Jack Dorsey's Twitter or Elon Musk's X?
No, I asked Elon Musk. I said, you about free speech, right? But you was all at the Libertarian Convention talking this, that, the other, right? And you have to understand that I come as the lunatic libertarian. Donald Trump wouldn't have been elected unless RFK dropped out. That's 3 million votes. Make America healthy again. Okay, that's 3 million votes that wasn't going to be accounted for Donald Trump.
Bro, and here's the thing. You know what I'm actually starting to learn? Like, dog, people don't believe in free speech, dog. They believe in controlled or censored speech as long as they agree with it. That's a scary thing I'm starting to realize about Americans today is that I wish
they love echo chambers.
Yeah, but no, they just want an echo chamber and they want their free speech to protect that. Anything outside of the echo chamber, they don't care about. That's what's so hilarious. But all right, though, let's go get right back to it.
All right, bro.
But shoot, at least somebody gets it in the chat. Yeah, X, bro, that's not free speech no more. He started off, but he kind of cooked it. He sold out to the Zionists, okay, guys? And look at X. There's a whole bunch of pro-Zionist propaganda. It's like you don't even get to hear other voices unless you truly search for them. And that's like what's coming up on your feed first. Like, yeah, that's controlled speech.
But bro, I can't even get on X because I told you.
Influencers?
It's blocked. It's blocked. I can get 2 clicks and then I can't look at Twitter or X for at least 1 week, 7 days.
God damn. Well, all right, let's get back to it.
Well, you talk about everybody else without evidence being on the payroll of foreign governments, pal? Now, I'm not trying to single this guy out. They just forced this guy, another Christian Zionist, in my feed. He's a self-described Christian Zionist. And if you don't do exactly what whoever's elected in Israel says, you're going to hell. And you're with the Muslims.
Yeah.
But never anything about the CIA, Mossad,